What is going on, everybody? Tasty Mond. We are a couple of days away from Gamescom. Hope everybody's relatively excited for the possibility of some new games getting announced. And I think the closer we're getting, a couple of things are coming through the woodwork right now, as just a little while ago, there's a hint at a possible Bully remake or remaster incoming. There's really nothing to go on right now other than the fact that it's been rated for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, PC. No Switch here by the looks of it for some reason, but there's not much to go on other than the fact that it's just been rated. And this isn't the only game that's actually just had like a new rating. A little while ago, Microsoft had like a new rating for Jet Set Radio Future. Now, I'm not talking about Jet Set Radio Future here, but this is like the second game that it's appeared over the past couple of days that's had like a new rating attached to it. So it's very possible that we are getting some sort of re-release for Bully. I'm not entirely sure if it is going to be a remake or a remaster. That's kind of why I'm doing this video, gauge some opinions on what people would actually prefer. I think if it was up to me, I'd probably prefer a remaster of some kind for the game, but I'm kind of in... Well, we'll take it back a few steps and we'll actually talk about Bully a little bit, shall we? The original Bully came out on the PS2 back in October of 2006. Yes, it was actually that long ago. And I can genuinely say it was the last Rockstar game that I personally thoroughly enjoyed from start to finish. And I genuinely mean that, and I'm not trying to knock later games that Rockstar have made over the years, but I actually think of this period as the last time we had the experimental Rockstar games, and I think Bully was one of the last experimental games that they ever made. There's actually a couple of versions of the game though, the original PS2 version, and then a couple of years later we got the Scholarship Edition that came out on the Wii and Xbox 360. Now, I'm not entirely sure if I'm in the minority here, but I much prefer the original PS2 version, and I'm pretty sure you can still play that on the PS4, like a backwards compatible PS2 game, and you can actually still play it on the PS5. But there's actually problems with that version in terms of the frame rate is a little bit worse than playing it on the original PS2 actually. That was just one of the porting problems that has happened, so I've been led to believe, and I've actually played it on PS5, and I can say that I think it is a wee bit laggier than the original PS2 version. It is pretty hard to play the OG PS2 version though in this day and age, but personally for me, I think the PS2 version is still the better version of the game just for the atmosphere that the game has. The actual Scholarship Edition does add a bunch of new stuff to the Bully game, but it actually ruins a lot of the atmosphere. Now it's all subjective whether you're one of those people that find like the extra stuff that was put in the game better than the tonal shift of the game, but I kind of prefer the original PS2 look for the game over the Scholarship Edition. And you can actually play the Scholarship Edition backwards compatible on an Xbox One or Xbox Series X. That's how it goes for consoles, and on PC you can play the Scholarship Edition still, and I don't think the Switch has any version of Bully right now. So it kind of does make sense that they're doing some sort of remaster for Bully so that every console, PC, we all have the same version to play. But it begs the question, what are they going to do if it is going to be a remaster of the game? On the one hand, a little while ago we got the definitive versions of Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, and those were received less than positive back when they originally came out. And Rockstar even removed the originals from being on sale on PC and other platforms. Due to high demand though, they brought them back on the Rockstar launcher for PC because a lot of people did not find the definitive versions of the original game. A lot of stuff was changed in the definitive process of those remasters, and it left a lot of people unhappy, myself included. Now, I've not went back and played those versions over the years, but are they looking to do something similar to that with Bully here? The more I think about it, the more it seems possible that they actually are looking to take that approach with Bully here. And is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? I think it remains to be seen what people would rather prefer. I think myself personally, I would rather that the original games were kept intact and it was some sort of collection where you could play the original PS2 version and the Scholarship Edition and just choose between the two. And I could play them on PC or whatever console I fancy. I think that's what I would personally rather prefer, but I'm wondering what other people would prefer. Are yous actually okay with like a definitive style remaster similar to the Grand Theft Auto trilogy that they brung out? If that is the case, then I think there is a chance that some of the stuff in the game could possibly be removed. With how the world is in this day and age, there's a lot of people, they get upset over things in video games, and A lot of video games are suffering from like later censorship on re-releases of the games, and whether it's for the best or the worst, personally I think it's for the worst, but I really don't want them to screw with the integrity of what Bully was, because it's a very unique game from a very unique time, an experimental PS2 era, from the generation that I personally still think to this day is the best generation that we ever had in gaming. Guys, let me know what you would rather prefer for this remaster of Bully. Would you prefer it was a collection of the two games, the original with the Scholarship Edition, or would you prefer it to be like the definitive edition releases of Grand Theft Auto, a whole new look for the games? Some stuff might be changed in the process though, but that's just what you'd have to live with some sort of remaster like that, or small percentage chance that it could be a full-on blown remake. We just never know, I guess. Let me know, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.